You know, when I entered retirement, I thought I was going into a life of leisure, but that couldn't have been farther from the truth. Let me tell you what I've done for the last couple of weeks. Let's talk about the business that my wife and I started as a part-time business, but now that we're in retirement, it's becoming more full-time. Well, I'm on my way to pick up our equipment. We have an event today, so it's 15 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been staying pretty busy over the last week or so, but this is kind of like the day in my life. My wife and I are going to go to what they call the Spring Fling. It's already been canceled once due to weather, so let's get out there and get our trailer loaded up. Now, it's kind of strange. We've been so busy at home, we haven't even been to our studio in over 2 weeks. We haven't restocked the soaps that we make. We've just been dealing with stuff at home since my wife and I both retired. So now I'm getting ready to hook up our trailer so we can go to our event. But first, let me tell you about all the stuff I had to do in the last week or two. So one of the things I did was build a fence in the back portion of our yard for the chickens. Nope, and here comes the chickens now. They're expecting a snack. So we just attached this to our chicken coop back here so that we can contain them in this back portion of the lawn without them getting into our patio. And here's the rest of the fence. The chickens are inside their little run because it's been raining and thundering outside. So here's the other part of the fence. This is my access. So we have a gate right here and it's wide enough to fit the lawnmower through. And this is the little area where the chickens can get cool. And I built them a little lean-to with a leftover roof from my old chicken coop. And then this thing down here is a black soldier fly larva farm. And you can see in here, probably looks like that's moving. That's all, oh shit. Well, look at that. And I just happened to come out just in time to see a snake right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is, wandering off. I think it's a rat snake. I'm not really too concerned about it, but there it is right there again. See it, huh? I don't know if you can see it. You can see it moving away slowly. Yeah, I think it was a rat snake. But anyway, got to get my chickens some food. Well, the chickens know I'm coming out with some food. I know, you're the loud one right there. You squawking up a storm. There you go. And we also got baby chicks. We got these for Mother's Day because that's what my wife wanted for Mother's Day. She wanted more chicks. And we got these as like 3-day-old little hatchlings. And they're just about ready to be brought out into the rest of the flock. See, there we got 6 more, so we're gonna have a total of 12 chickens now. And these are cinnamon queens. And this is like they're just little makeshift little nursery because we like to keep them isolated until they are ready to be integrated into the flock. They're not ready yet, but they will be pretty soon. So there they are. Okay, so another thing that I did is a few months ago we planted a small little raised bed. This is really all we had time for. But I planted some pole beans, There's one of the beans right now. Looks like it's ready to be picked. Since they're pole beans, they'll produce a little bit of beans over, the extended summertime. We also planted loofah. So here's our loofah. We got one growing over there. I don't know if you can see it from there. There it is. And let me see, I've got another loofah growing right here. And they'll continue to grow throughout the summer. And when they start turning brown, then and they're dried out, then I'll pick them. But this is just a very small little grow bed, and they're starting to produce now. This is probably where the snake was at, either here or unfortunately could have been in the chicken coop, probably stealing eggs. I'll have to go check that next. Okay, let's check for some eggs. Ooh, yeah. No eggs in there. That nesting box pad is out because somebody pooped in it. Oh, we only got one egg today. It's a nice looking egg, but only one. And of course, in true I just retired fashion, along with my wife, we start some other projects. And so our refrigerator went out and we had to get a new one. The freezer stopped working, which was great all in and of itself, but that also is the beginning of, as you can see here, a new project. We had to tear out the old trim work because the people that were removing our old refrigerator said they couldn't fit that refrigerator through the door. But that same refrigerator fit through that section 13 years prior. So anyway, this involved a remodeling project where we extended our entry into the kitchen by a mere 12 inches. But to extend that by a mere 12 inches, it also involves putting in a new beam because this is a load-bearing wall. So I had to remove the other beam, make a new one that was 1 foot longer, and then reconstruct all of the stuff to support that beam along the way of this load-bearing wall. And of course, as you can see, the project is not finished. I still need to put in some patchwork here, and you can see my first attempt at putting in some new flooring material. I may have to work on that and make it a little bit tighter, but we're gonna cover most of that up with our threshold and our new trim work. So now the project is just on hold until I can put in the new trim. And of course, there's going to be trim going around the outside as well. So all that will be covered up and it'll look much nicer. But it really did make a big difference. 1 foot makes a huge difference in the entryway to our kitchen, made it look a lot bigger. And so, of course, along with that, our dryer goes out. So in that case, though, we didn't need to get a new dryer. I was able to repair the dryer. Our heating element was going out in the dryer, which is typical, and we have a bearing that went out as well that supports a belt that turns the dryer tumbler. Well, because that heater was going out and the belt had and the bearing had gone out, we were blowing a circuit breaker so the heater wouldn't heat up at all. So that involved me tearing apart the dryer, buying the new parts, putting it back together. And that was about a 3-day task because I first had to tear into the dryer, figure out what was wrong, buy the parts, wait for them to come in, and then start the repair process. So that's just another thing that we did in the last week or two to stay busy in retirement. And of course, in addition to everything else, we also got a notice from our insurance company that said that they came by and did an inspection and we had refuse on the side of our house. You can see all the area here. We have a canoe that we were storing back here. And of course, on the side of the house, it was my dumb idea to store all of my used oil because I use it in a burn barrel. And so with that notice, they said that it could affect our insurance. So we had to clean all that out. So I spent a day or two cleaning off the side of the house. And now I have to submit a report back to them or let them come back and look at it to say that everything is cleaned off now. But that's just another thing that we do that keeps us busy. I swear, never a dull moment. You would think in retirement we would be sitting back and relaxing, but that's not the case. I'm not sure if I know even how. So with that, let's go back to my day at our craft fair event. Okay, we're all set up. You can see some of our products in the background as I pan around. It took us about an hour to set up. It's pretty warm out today, pretty hot. And here's another view. There's our little panel that we put in front of our cash register. And then over here, I have all of my typed quotes that I type up on one of my typewriters. You can see that. And I sell those. My wife makes body butter. That's a big seller for us. And then we have shower steamers, really good for clearing your sinuses. And now that my wife is retired, she's making all kinds of washcloths and face scrubbies. We have our magnesium oil spray down there and whip soap. And over here, finally, is our selection of handmade soaps. And then I also have started making these gem diffuser car freshies lately. So that's what it looks like when we set up at some event somewhere. You can hear the background music somewhere probably. We have a couple of other things too, my shave soaps, beard oil, beard butter. So that's pretty much everything. This is what we do on weekends. Okay, it's 11 o'clock, got a bit of a breeze, but it's hotter than blazes out here. We got the bug spray on, so it's keeping the gnats away, but had a little bit of business, but not a whole lot. So now we're inside our tent with a fan going, trying to stay cool. There's my wife behind me, newly retired, and barely making it in the sun. But we'll check in another couple hours when it's over with. Well, it's just about noon now, but we're packing up, getting ready to go, because there's a possibility we could get rained on, and everybody else is packing up, so we're packing up with them. Of course, we narrowly beat the rain, as it started raining as soon as we got packed up and we were driving away. By the time we got home, we had thunderstorms that night. So it was a good thing, because we've lost product before in the rain. So I hope you liked my brief summation of a week in my retired life. With that being said, until next time, see ya.